Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Plug and Play Winter Summit Week 2 Mobility Day. I'm excited to be with you guys today. My name is Sopan Khani. I'm VP of Smart Cities and have a pleasure of being with you guys this morning in California. And also I want to welcome everybody, all the attendees from the startups to the corporations. We're excited to be with you guys today. I just want to thank all the corporate partners, all the VC, all the startups, everybody in our community that basically help us to be here today with you guys. And special thanks for our team. Just want to say thank you for the resiliency. I know we all had a challenging probably 20 months or so, but with all the challenges that we had, we were still able to deliver and be here with you guys. So excited to be here. If we go to the next slide, I just wanted to talk very briefly about the agenda. So this is the week 2 of Winter Summit. We are day 3 Mobility Day. We have one more day left for the travel and hospitality, which is tomorrow. And the agenda for this day today, basically we have an opening remark. I'm excited to announce some of the new partners that we have joined the platform. We have 3 corporations with us today that we want to talk about the projects we have with them. And after that, we have a keynote speaker, Hendriks, CTO of Yanfeng, one of our automotive supplier with us today. And we have obviously startup presentation and closing remark. Basically, very quickly on the next slide, in terms of the housekeeping items, obviously, if you're not presenting, please stay muted. And if you have any questions, submit the question on the Q&A button in the bottom of your screen. And every 3 to 5 startups, basically, there's a pool asking you if you would like to connect with the startups so our team can make introduction after the event. Lastly, very briefly, although it was a tough 20 months or so, still Plug and Play were able to grow. As Nodar mentioned last week, we had a really good year in terms of the portfolio. I think beginning of a pandemic, we had about 12 unicorns, and now we're about 26 unicorns. So obviously huge growth in terms of Plug and Play portfolio companies, but also in terms of global expansion. You can see we are a very truly global organization. We have offices around the globe. Some of the newer projects that basically we can talk about here, one of the newest one, Alberta Innovate, project in Alberta focusing on healthcare, energy and sustainability, and AI. I think that's one of the bigger projects that we have so far. And also 2 other that I'm excited about, both of them actually. One of them in Egypt. We were actually expecting Dr. Osman from ITIDA to be on a call with us today, but because of the time difference, he wasn't able. So hopefully we can have an introduction for him later on. But this is a basic project in Cairo. Egypt going to be one of the top 10 growing economies by 2030. So it's a huge market, a lot of talent in terms of engineering. We already made a couple of investment in Egypt in terms of portfolio. So super excited to have presence there. Hopefully beginning of it next year, Q1 2022, we're gonna make more announcements in terms of this office. And also another one which I'm super excited about it, which is India. Obviously there's a lot of engineering talent in India. It's a huge market. It was one of the biggest missing gap that we had on the map for us. And excited to have Bob from People Tech to talk about our projects in Hyderabad and what we're planning to do. We actually have an event there next month, so we can talk about that later once I introduce Bob. With that, maybe we can jump into the new partner announcement. Obviously, this platform wouldn't be this platform without having these corporate partners to work with the startups and solve some of their innovation challenges and bring innovation to the market. So I'm excited to introduce the first new partner who joined us, Chris and Kyle from POSCO. Please join me on stage, the virtual stage. I would love you guys to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Soban. Can you hear me well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is Chris Kwan, and I am General Manager of POSCO. Today, I'm really excited to have a chance to introduce to many great startups and other corporations about POSCO and our cooperation with the Plug and Play. POSCO is a steel and iron manufacturing company. Our annual crude steel production is more than 40 million tons with annual consolidated revenue of $50 billion. Besides steel, POSCO also has a diversified business portfolio with its subsidiaries. POSCO International is one of Korea's largest trading company and also works for exploring oil and gas. POSCO E&C is building plants, infrastructure, buildings, house and apartment, and etc. POSCO Energy operates gas and coal power plants. POSCO Chemical is a leading company in core chemistry and carbon materials and also provides materials for cathode and anode for secondary battery. POSCO ICT is in charge of IT infrastructure and engineering service for various business fields of POSCO and its subsidiaries. Actually, we recently joined the corporate partnership program of Plug and Play to boost up the cooperation between startups and POSCO. Actually, POSCO believes the open collaboration with startups can be the growth engine for POSCO and can have many great cases for the benefits of startups and POSCO too. POSCO also has great assets for working with startups such as POSTECH, one of the best tech research university in Korea, and also research institute called RIST that can help startups scaling up their tech and the production. POSCO believes Plug and Play can be the wonderful starting point and bridges of the fantastic cooperation between POSCO and many startups. We're really happy to join the ecosystem of Plug and Play. And POSCO is especially interested in new material technology for secondary batteries and also technologies regarding clean tech and hydrogen. However, we are very open for the discussion to develop great projects together. We are very excited to meet lots of great startups today also in this Winter Summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. I don't know if Kyle also is on the line. I think we had a lot of challenges to bring Chris and Kyle from South Korea to Plug and Play because of the visa issue, but excited to have you guys both in the Sunnyvale office and excited to have you guys on board. Perfect. With that, this is another new partner. It's a big name. I was excited to have them to join the platform. If Jessica is in line, I would love you to come on stage. Special partnership for me, especially Jessica. I think from beginning of the mobility program in 2015-16, one of my goals was to have GM as a partner. It was not an easy road. It took me 5 years, but now finally excited to have you. Maybe you want to share a few words with us, Jessica.
Hey, good morning, Soban. Hoping you can hear me.
Yes.
Perfect. So I will say, I think I've been with you along that journey for a while. So as a startup for the last, I think I probably have been on the startup journey just as long as you've been on the Plug and Play mobility journey. So I launched a startup in 2015, got to know Plug and Play through that startup. Obviously had a fantastic experience, which is why I'm now here as part of GM. So for us at GM, I think it's been also a long journey to figure out exactly our path and our strategy to engage really with a lot of startups in Silicon Valley. Plug and Play, we've identified as a partner. I joined GM 3 months ago, so brand new into GM. One of the first things that I looked at was how do we increase engagement? So in my new role as head of innovation strategy and what we call the accelerator for General Motors, it's really, our number one priority is to think about the future of General Motors, and what better way than to partner with Plug and Play and incorporate, some of maybe test and learn, maybe get to know some startups here during the Winter Summit and beyond. But as one of the newest partners for GM, we are honored and looking forward to continuing to do more events and to support the startup ecosystem here in Silicon Valley.
Amazing. Thank you, Jessica. Yeah. For everybody to know, Jessica was the CEO of a company called CarForce. We went through our mobility program a few years back and recently joined GM. And maybe also a fun fact, first, the startup, sometimes not easy to get these partnership or collaboration with big corporations. I don't know how many times probably I heard no from different people from GM, but I always try to find my way through that. And it was funny because couple of weeks ago, we had a session with GM, and one of the startups was like, "Oh, we presented to them before. We don't want to do that anymore unless they want to partner with us." I was like, "Listen, like it's going to take a while, and these big organizations, it's not easy to navigate through. So you have to stay persistent. You have to find your way." So I'm excited that finally have you guys on board. Thanks to Jessica. Hopefully, if you guys have any requests for GM and there's potential partnership, I think she's a best champion, and she understands that basically both parts of the table, basically from the startup perspective, also from the corporate perspective. Super happy to have you on board, Jessica. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll add one more thing because you just reminded me. So there is a sea of change. I think I certainly was one of the startups that, much like it sounds like some of your startups that you've engaged with, got a big flat no from GM years ago when I was on the startup side. So I can absolutely appreciate that. I think unlike a lot of folks, before at GM, I've walked the life and journey of a startup founder. So I can relate completely. I'll say too that is part of the reason that I am at GM today, is I think GM recognizes, at Mary's level, the CEO level, Pam Fletcher, who's my boss and the person that spearheaded electrification for the entire company. These are folks that are really looking at the future of General Motors. There's a new 000, or the 000 initiative. You'll hear GM talk about it more at CES this year or in 2022. But it's really looking at the sea of change that's coming and how do we future-proof ourselves. And a big part of that, again, is new people, fresh thinking, doing things that probably should have been done. Again, this partnership with Plug and Play should have happened years and years ago, but better late than never.
Amazing. Super excited to have you on board anyway, Jessica. Thank you. Perfect. With that, I also have the next company. This is the project that we are very excited about, Hyderabad office. We have Bob from Triangulum Lab, or People Tech, with us this morning. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Thanks, Soman. We are really pleased to be here today announcing, our very unique partnership with Plug and Play. Not only are we joining Plug and Play's incredibly vital Silicon Valley mobility sector, that you all know so well, but we are really very excited to be partnering with Plug and Play and the Indian government to bring Plug and Play to India, opening up a massive new market for entrepreneurs, investors, and customers. In fact, we'll be hosting the new Plug and Play Mobility Center in our offices in Hyderabad, India. And we've got the premiere event for the facility scheduled for the middle of next month. So it's coming, and it's coming fast. So we are understandably just excited about the possibilities that opens for everyone here, and also understandably excited about just the potential that India market presents. So let me tell you a little bit about People Tech Group and our venture arm, Triangulum Labs. People Tech is a software integrator focused on enterprises, both large and small. So we help companies leverage the cloud and advanced technology and develop state-of-the-art mobility solutions. So we do this for very large companies like Microsoft and Amazon, and mobility players like Lucid Motors and General Motors. In fact, GM is our largest customer. At GM, we develop the software that drives the in-vehicle displays that you see and touch behind the steering wheel and in the center stack dash. So it's a great serendipitous moment where we're here with GM on stage at Plug and Play, both joining at the same time. But in addition to working with some of the largest companies in the world, we also very much enjoy working with entrepreneurs. We kind of naturally started working with entrepreneurs when we were working with some of the people that we were working with in corporate decided to venture out on their own and look for assistance in building their MVP. I personally really enjoy working with the entrepreneurs, the passion that they bring and the willingness to take risk to build the product that they envision. That's what's really fun and really gets me going. And that's why we formed Triangulum Labs. Triangulum is a venture lab looking for startups that need assistance of an enterprise software development company. We help startups build their MVP and bridge that wide gap that Jessica was just talking about between the startups and those global OEMs that are really hungry for that startup mentality and those startup ideas. There are three key things that we look for in a startup. First, that an innovative use of technology is core to the value proposition. Second, that to develop and deliver their product, they need the specialized skills and scale that the PeopleTech Group companies can provide. And third, and most importantly, that leadership has deep insight into their customers and has the passion to drive that product to market. Because we know firsthand that it isn't easy being an entrepreneur. You have to do a lot of things just right. And that's why we're here to help. So it's a really exciting time to be in mobility with all of the technology that is coming to the fore that is going to dramatically change the driver and passenger experience in automotive particularly, and other transportation industries. So we are really pleased to be here with you today and excited to see what you all have to offer. So that's about, I'll turn it back over to you, and I look forward to working with you and your team in India next month. And I'm just going to warn you, we're definitely going to get you out on the street for some of that spicy Indian street food that I was telling you about. And we'll see if you can handle it.
Definitely. We're super excited about that. So the event, just a reminder for people, it's going to be on December 13th. So if anybody's interested, please reach out to me, Jordan from our travel team, and Bob from PeopleTech. But excited to have some of you guys in the event on December 13th in Hyderabad, India. Thank you, Bob.
You bet.
Perfect. The next company that joined our platform called Holman Growth Ventures. This is a new partner actually joined our supply chain practice besides our mobility. The team, they're not here with us virtually, but they record a video for us in terms of a message. So maybe with that, we can play the video.
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to meet all of you virtually. Can't wait to meet you all in person. My name is Bill Karras. I'm the president and CEO of Holman Growth Ventures. With me are two of my colleagues, Bethany Miller, wave your hand there, Bethany, and John True. I'll let them speak for a second when I'm done here, but just wanted to give you a little feel for why we're excited to be here with you all. Holman is a 97-year-old privately held company. Just a couple of facts and figures. We're $6.5 billion top line, about 6,500 employees. Started off as a car dealership, and we've grown that to over 30 dealerships, some of which are out west in the Southern California area, and then also up in Portland and Seattle. So that is a big part of our business, those dealerships. But we also have a large fleet management and mobility business called ARI, where we manage over 2 million vehicles for corporate 500s like Comcast and FedEx, Burlington Northern, a lot of those kind of brag names. But maybe one of the more interesting ones that we've done, and really where we got into the mobility space and investing, was we carved out a very large strategic partnership with Lyft, where we built out a way for them to source vehicles for their drivers on their platform. That got us into building more tech products and investing more tech products. And it was right about that time that we said we really need to dive deeper into the investment piece. So we didn't even know what corporate venture capital meant back then, but now we are well down our road. And one of the best things I did was bring on my colleague, John. So John, maybe you can talk a little bit about where we're going from a CVC standpoint.
Thanks, Bill. So I was the first employee in the CVC, and really, really excited to be partnering with Plug and Play. When I first started, the dream was to partner with, and we use that word partnership really seriously because we are deep strategic investors, but to partner with the best startups and to leverage your know-how, your energy as these whip smart startup folks to help us innovate and bring us into the next century. As Bill said, we're a 97-year-old company, and we want to be around for another 97 years. And so we need smart startup folks like you and your technology and your solutions to help get there. And in turn, we want to leverage our assets, our network, and everything we can to help you succeed. So I say we're both strategic, but we are also really, really into helping you guys exit. And so we've had a couple of exits already in our portfolio. We were investors in Vroom and Rivian, and really excited to help you make money as well. And so IPOs are important to us and exits are important to us, but also the strategic play is important to us. So I'll kick it to my colleague Bethany to talk about how we will envision interacting with you guys.
We are really so excited to be partnered with you guys. We are corporate partners in both the mobility program as well as the supply chain and logistics program. And we just can't wait to come out there, start interacting with you, start connecting you with our network, and really just helping you guys succeed and be the best that you can be. So we're really excited. Can't wait to meet you. Thank you so much for your time.
Amazing. Thank you also the Holman Venture Growth. And hopefully next time we can introduce more partners to you guys as the platform continues growing. But with that, we want to give you guys a quick update on the portfolio side as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, we had a really good growth in terms of portfolio. So 2 companies we wanted to highlight today. Number 1 is a company called Hendriks. They founded in 2016, headquartered in Stockholm, Sweden, Series B. So basically, the climate change is the most important challenge we face today. The road freight industry accounts for 7% of global CO2 emission, consuming over 5 million barrels of oil per year. Hendriks, with their autonomous, electric, and remote pod, they're trying to solve that challenge. And they recently have a GE appliance is bringing Hendriks autonomous electric pods to the United States. This marks as an important milestone for the freight industry in the US, as the first time an autonomous electric and remote operating pod system is being installed on the scale in North America. The system will allow GE Appliance to reduce its environmental footprint, which is also one of the big challenges that we all face today. So exciting projects that we have with Hendriks. The next company is a company called Gardnox. Yes, Gardnox. So they also founded in 2016, headquartered in Tel Aviv, Israel. Series B, with the drivers want personalized experience that requires ever-evolving and increasing more demanding software and communication requirements inside the vehicle, between the vehicles, and between vehicles and external world are increasing. Basically, this call for a high-performance, ultra-low latency communication backbone and a proper cybersecurity layer to ensure security and compliance. So basically, Gardnox trying to solve that challenge and problem. So Gardnox, NXP, and Green Hill Software have partnered to develop advanced secure automotive platform. And Gardnox actually will be at CES next year, January 2022, and they'll be unveiling all new augmented reality AR demo to bring their solution to digital life, basically right at your fingerprint. We have a quick video from Gardnox as well, if we can play that.
Connected cars are a growing target for security attacks. A new security concept developed by DXC Technology and Gardnox secures and monitors the data traffic between the car and the back-end services.
What Gardnox does is provide cybersecurity solutions for the automotive market. We have in-vehicle solutions which protect it from external hacking or any other type of security incidents.
The Gardnox Secure Network Orchestrator, or SNO, is a highly secure electronic control unit, ECU, that is integrated in the car, where it acts as a cybersecurity platform, locking down all communication in the vehicle, thereby ensuring that only legitimate communication is allowed.
The joint solution of Gardnox and DXC enables OEMs and fleet managers to secure their fleet by monitoring real-time the security status of all their vehicles. Real-time monitoring of cars and their events becomes even more important with interfaces on vehicles to receive updates and configuration over the internet.
By monitoring vehicle fleets with the DXC Security Operations Center, new threat patterns can be detected in real time. As a result, new attacks are rapidly discovered, enabling instantaneous fleet-level decisions and actions. Beyond that, the application of big data analytics allows managing and operating whole fleets and monitoring the vehicle health across the fleet. Furthermore, with DXC and Gardnox, it is possible to support predictive maintenance scenarios, meter consumption costs, locate vehicles, as well as manage and simulate other scenarios across the fleet.
So at the end of the day, we really provided a comprehensive end-to-end solution for full fleet visibility to our customers.
Awesome. Thank you. With that, we wanted to move on to the next part of the event in the agenda. We have a keynote speaker, Hendriks, CTO of Yanfang, with us today. They actually had a innovation day in our event center a few weeks back with some of their new features they added to their products. And one of our partners for the past 3-4 years, they had a really successful project with a leading OEM in California. And my colleague Johannes working very closely with them and have a lot of good success stories. Han actually was with us as a keynote speaker, I think 3 years ago, which we had a big audience of 200, 300 people, 500 people, sorry, and excited to have Han with us today. Han, please take it from here.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Han Hendriks. I'm Chief Technology Officer for Yanfang Technology, and I'm very happy to be here with you this morning to help kick off with Saeed, Johannes, the rest of the Plug and Play team, the Winter Summit on mobility, and it's just a pleasure to be here again. Hopefully next time in person and not virtually. I will start with a short introduction of our company, Yanfang. So Yanfang is a global leader in automotive interiors. We have many factories around the world, about 16 billion in sales last year, and about 55,000 employees globally. And we have about 4,500 engineers, designers, scientists, researchers in our R&D team as well. What's exciting in our company portfolio is as you can see, we have 5 product groups: interiors with floor consoles, instrument panels, and so forth. Complete seats, every component, mechanism, structures. Passive safety technology with airbags, restraint systems, increasingly electronics, and even exterior. So what's really exciting for us at Yanfang is that these used to be 5 completely different independent companies. And about 2 years ago, we started to bring the divisions closer together, to cooperate together, to build a vision for the future of our business, the future of our portfolio, together as one company instead of 5 different companies. One of the more radical organization changes we made was that we put the R&D teams of these 5 divisions in one group, with the goal to obviously drive efficiency improvement, but also to accelerate towards our vision for the complete interior, not just for these subsystems and components. So really exciting journey that started at Yanfang to drive the future of interiors about 2 years ago when we started. If you look back over 100 years, this is our point of view. The interior didn't really change significantly from a consumer point of view. Obviously, the car became safer. There's more electronics, little bit the look and feel, but from a consumer point of view, it didn't change much. You still have these 4 or 5 seat positions. You have a steering wheel, you have the pedals, fixed positions in the interior, and it's been like that for over 100 years. What for us is so exciting is that we believe that today we are in a decade where we will see radical change. For the automakers, it's been a comfortable 100+ years. For the tier ones like ourselves, it's been evolutionary change, quite comfortable, not radical. And it's been like this for quite a while. The internal combustion engine was one of the main reasons why new car companies almost never happened, because of the barriers to enter this business were high. The know-how to develop and manufacture an internal combustion engine is extremely high and complicated. The capital required to build engine factories is very high, very expensive. And then these companies were originally mechanical companies, so there is a lot of mechanical know-how. So now we have this decade of radical change, disruptive change. There are a few trends that all come together. So first of all, the transitions from combustion engine to electric drivetrains. Significant change that a couple of years ago, nobody would have imagined that it would happen at the scale that we see today. Also creating a lot more opportunity for newcomers to enter the mobility market, and we've seen that happen. and it will continue. But also level 2, 3, 4, 5, autonomy, autonomous driving. If you would have told someone 10 years ago that at some point in the next 10, 20, 30 years, the steering wheel would be eliminated from the car interior and the car would drive itself completely. Nobody believed you. Everybody thought you were crazy, but it's happening as we speak. Another trend, shared mobility business models, mobility as a service. Also, this is something that years ago was very difficult for people to imagine and accept, that they would not own their car. But if you look at it a little bit more pragmatic, the average car is being used 5% of the time, an hour a day. But you're paying for it 100% of the time, 24 hours a day. You're paying for the insurance, you're paying for taxes, you're paying for parking if you live in the city. And if you would tell someone that that you can drive that same car for 5% of the cost that it costs you today, if it would be in a mobility service of some kind, a lot more people became interested in that. So there are a lot of really significant changes: connectivity, AI, standardization of platforms, a lot of disruptive change going on in this business. Now, what's really exciting for Yanfeng is that we see that all these trends, whether they are technological or changing consumer attitudes, all drive change in the interior. And the interior of a car is truly becoming the third living space, where you can work, relax, socialize, or play games. This is the perfect cocoon to play games with all the special effects that you can have in a small space to enhance the gaming experience. At Yanfeng, when we talk about the smart living, the smart cabin, we talk about the future in-car experience. And what's really important from our point of view for this future interior is 5 key elements. First of all, it has to have this extraordinary cabin ambience. It has to be personal and adaptable, so it becomes your space. The interaction with the vehicle will not only be through buttons or a screen, it will be multimodal HMI. Real buttons, seamlessly integrated buttons and surfaces that appear when you need them but disappear when you don't need them, voice, gesture control, different ways to interact with the vehicle. Integrated intelligent safety. The car knows who is sitting in the seat, the length, the weight of the person, and it adjusts these safety systems in case of a crash to protect your body in an optimized way. And then the whole topic of connected services and data. Probably at the moment, the 1 hour a day that people are not on the internet in some form or shape is when they are driving their vehicle. Also, this will disappear because there will be another hour for you in a day to do whatever you want in that small space. And many people will go on the internet and use services, buy products, play games, and so forth. So we believe that with our Yanfeng portfolio, we can really drive this future interior, this third living space, this smart cabin, with focus on these 5 key elements. So here is an example of one of our recent concepts. About 2 years ago, we actually had the world premiere of our XIM20, that's the name of this vehicle, at the Plug and Play campus, where we invited our customers, the OEMs, to basically explain our vision for future interiors. This is obviously a more visionary interior. It doesn't even have a steering wheel anymore. It's also based on a shared mobility concept where, depending on the duration of the ride or what you want to do during the ride, you either go in the back of the vehicle where you have your closed cocoon to relax or socialize, or maybe when you have a short ride through the city and you want to stay connected to the environment, look around, you take one of the seats in the front. And you see a lot of the features and functions already in the interior. Besides just beautiful surfaces and materials, a lot of digital content in this interior. And it's for us a great challenge to combine those two worlds. The new opportunities that digital technology is offering us when we start integrating that into our core portfolio, in our seats, in our surfaces, and then the physical experience of the interior, the space. Really exciting to drive that future interior. Customers reacted very positively, other stakeholders highly interested, but especially our customers also said, we love your vision, we love the ideas, but what can we put in our next generation vehicles? Where can we make money with quickly? Basically also for us important. So we introduced this smart cabin vision in 2019 at Plug and Play. What we did then was develop the successor of that vehicle. Maybe it looks less extreme, more like cars today, but it translated our vision into a manufacturing ready concept with a lot of the same ideas for our smart cabin. A lot of the technology integrated in such a way that it is production ready. Again, building on those 5 essential ingredients for our smart cabin. And we're very happy to see that this year we see the first evidence of our cooperation with customers in this smart cabin space with 2 lighthouse vehicles, the Tesla Model S and X introduced earlier this year, and also the Mercedes EQS. Both vehicles are, I think, in different ways, really representing our smart cabin vision, integrated digital technology to create a unique end user experience, but also the topic of sustainability. Take the EQS, for example, where we have all the surfaces in the interiors, obviously except for the large display screen on the instrument panel, but all the other surfaces, interior surfaces are Yanfeng, are extremely sustainable and circular, and we made a huge step there compared to the previous vehicles. So this is the interior, the second interior that we show to our customers, the production ready version. And I want to use this interior to talk a little bit more about this fusion of physical and digital technology into a meaningful and logical end user experience. So when we talk about the physical side of the interior, we wanted to create a high-tech look and feel of the interior. It had to be modern and it had to be premium. Usually vehicles in the premium segment are a better platform to showcase the latest technology, because usually that's where new technology makes its way into the market and is then being cascaded down as volumes go up, prices go down, cascaded down into the lower segments. And on the other hand, we have the digital side that I'll explain in a minute. When we talk about a high-tech look and feel, obviously screens are important and HMI controls are important. Curved screens, curved OLEDs, TFT screens, and then very nicely integrated with the physical world of this small living space. As you can see here on the driver side with curved OLED and the TFT screen. Also for the rear seat passengers, 2 entertainment screens that slide up out of the seat backs, the front seat backs, for use by the rear seat passengers. The second physical attribute that we emphasized and paid attention to is that it had to be a modern interior. So modern is usually mostly defined by shapes and proportions. So we paid special attention to make sure that the shapes are modern, proportions are contemporary, and that's what made its way into this interior. The final attribute on the physical side is premium. Premium is mostly defined by the type of materials that you use, premium materials. Obviously, we wanted to stay away from traditional premium seat surfaces like leather, but really luxury alternatives, environmental alternatives to those more traditional solutions. And it's very good possible to create a very premium look and feel of the physical side of this interior with different materials and different effects. Lighting can do a lot to create this premium look and feel. Lighting through the surface and lighting reflecting on interior surfaces, which is what we've done in this interior. So then we have the digital side of the interior. And you can imagine that this all has to be in harmony. It has to feel like one experience, one holistic experience. So when we talk about the digital experience of the interior, we talk about inputs and outputs. Inputs means cameras, sensors, voice control, gesture, touch display, smart surfaces, physical switches, and all based on use cases. We talk about outputs. What you actually see when you do an input is screens, displays, lighting effects, audio, climate, warmer, colder, scents can create really different moods in the interior. Seating positions, other hardware positions, a floor console that moves freely throughout the interior to offer cup holders to those passengers where it's needed most, and even personalized safety, automatic adjustment of the restraint systems is an output. So you have these inputs and outputs, and one of our eureka moments during the development of this vehicle, where we really made a smart cabin reality, is from an end consumer point of view, is the choreography of these different features and functions in the interior: the light, the climate, the moving seats, the cup holders, the audio, and it's the choreography that creates a meaningful, successful, enjoyable, and safe experience. And when you do it wrong, when you get it wrong, it's confusing, it's unsafe, it's not pleasant at all. So with that aha moment, we thought we have to start developing a central brain, this smart cabin control unit that manages this entire interior, that choreographs these features and functions, digital and physical, to create a meaningful combination. Yen-Fong started in the meantime about 4 years ago with the development of the smart cabin controller, and in the meantime we are in various production programs for the production version of it, and it will hit the market in 2022. So there is this physical experience, this digital experience that creates this fusion of physical beauty and digital intelligence into an engaging experience for the end consumer. So this is almost the end of what I wanted to share. So the areas where we focus on are smart cabin vision, the enabling technology to create this engaging experience by choreographing both the physical features and functions as well as the digital features and functions of the vehicle. One of the new areas that we just started to understand and brainstorm where the opportunities are is this metaverse, this digital world that will be the parallel world to our physical world. And a lot of traditional companies are finding ways to create business models in the physical world, but now also in this digital world, in this metaverse. And also Yen-Fong has started to consider that, because in this digital world, there are cars that your avatars are using. You spend money in this digital world, and these cars, will have interiors. They can be Yen-Fong interiors, and so this will be a new adventure for us to leverage our know-how and understanding of the end consumer and the technologies in the real world to create an even better experience, in-car experience, as you drive from A to B in this metaverse digital world. really exciting for us as well to understand and grow our ideas and concepts for this new space, and we look forward to do that, obviously increasingly in our innovation ecosystem. This is something where partnerships and relationships are more important than ever. That's why we appreciate so much being part of the Plug and Play ecosystem, and also directly to the audience in the room. Thank you for listening. And if you have any ideas, you want dialogue, you want to know more about some of the things I explained, please contact myself or my colleagues. Some of my colleagues are in the room with you today. Contact them, and we love to engage with you and talk more about this. So thank you very much, and I wish you a really good winter summit today. Goodbye.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Han. Always great to have you as a keynote speaker and presenter. Next, I would love to invite my colleague, Jonathan Liu. He recently joined us as a venture analyst in Smart Cities team. And Jonathan, please come on stage. He's going to be your MC for the startup introduction.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to our Winter Summit, Day 7. I'm Jonathan. As my colleague Soban said, I'm working as an analyst on the Smart Cities team. We're mainly working on energy, mobility, Internet of Things, real estate and construction. It's been very exciting last week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the expo so far. So I'll be talking a little bit, I'll be introducing the startups that are kind of moving up. For the last couple months, we've had the following startups go through our mobility program. So these startups were selected by our corporate partners, and today they're going to be sharing a little bit about who they are and then also how they're changing the game. So for our first startup, kicking off our pitches is Annotell. Annotell is a platform that ensures performance for vision perception systems in autonomous vehicles. You can see a little bit intro on the next slide. Their product provides data analytics that empower strategic decisions and make safe perception for autonomous mobility possible. Please welcome our first startup, Annotell.
Hi, everyone. I want to take a brief moment and present Annotell. So Annotell is a software company that was founded 3.5 years ago. And we are on a mission to make safe perception possible for autonomous mobility. And I think we can all conclude that autonomy is a huge opportunity. It's potentially $1 trillion market, and there's hundreds of billions invested so far in making it a reality. This includes both on the vehicle manufacturing side, the tier ones who integrate and sort of put together cars, sensor manufacturers, and the new players, the AD companies of the world. And to put it really simply, Annotell wants to make sure all cars have Annotell approved perception. That basically means we want to provide the vision test when you get your driver's license, when your car gets your driver's license. In the past, people got a driver's license by going for an exam, had to watch some small characters on a board far away, and if you had good enough eyesight, you could get a driver's license. In the next decade, our cars are going to have to go through the same process because we're now going to start trusting our cars to drive. And today, getting a driver's license as a car is very, very hard. It basically means driving millions and millions or even billions of kilometers. Clearly, that's not a possible way forward. And at the same time, perception is the foundation of mobility. You can't make your way around in society if you can't see what is around you. Typically, the self-driving car stack is divided into perception, prediction, and planning. Annotell is focused on the perception part, the foundation, the part that turns chaos into structure and perceives the world. And today, handling that requires a very complex and expensive process. It means defining a use case, getting data coverage, defining safe behavior, producing ground truth, training models, validating, and learning continuously. While our customers are aware about this process, it's far from simple and far from something that they have mastered. And that's where we come in. So Annotell offers a software platform that deals with several of the key problems in this process. Most notably, we solve the challenge of defining safe behavior for millions of edge cases. Furthermore, we also help achieve global coverage, and that's necessary for autonomy to be a viable business. It's not enough to solve Phoenix, Arizona. You actually have to be able to deploy this product on a global scale. And if you don't trust me, take it from Andrew Karpathy, the head of perception and AI, the director of AI at Tesla. Even after 4 years, he still doesn't consider ground truth with quality assurance, etc., as a solved part of developing a self-driving car. And in practice, our solution to this problem mirrors the challenges that our customers face. So we have developed a platform that makes safe perception possible, and it consists of a few pieces that are crucial in this workflow. Number one, we make it possible to achieve the quality required for safety. So these millions of edge cases, ranging from lane markings in snow in northern Scandinavia to a large truck in a heavy rainstorm, to zigzag lines on the side of the road, to very, very ambitious lane markings in Singapore, all of these things need to be handled correctly, and the challenge is in the long tail. We also drastically reduce the cost of attaining global coverage. We help you select the relevant data out of the massive amounts that typically is recorded, and we provide state-of-the-art automation to drastically reduce the cost of producing ground truth. And finally, we tie all of this together in a platform that integrates tools and makes it possible to handle constant change. So this is actually a very significant change in the way you have to work to solve this problem, in that you have to think of it as an iterative process where productivity and engineering velocity is critical to succeeding. And that's something that's possible by making use of the Annotell platform. I hope with this short introduction, you have some idea what Annotell is about. Our mission is to make safe perception possible for mobility. And we do that by removing the obstacles in getting enough data, getting the right quality, and working in a fast and iterative way. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Annotell. So our next startup in line is Zadar Labs. So Zadar Labs is developing compact, high performance, and low cost radar image processing. Their vision is to empower critical perception systems and create new opportunities in safety and autonomous capabilities. Please give it up for our second startup, Zadar Labs.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mahmoud Sadat, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Zadar Labs in San Jose, California. 2 years ago, Mo Amadi, my co-founder and CTO, and I founded Zadar Labs with the idea to advance perception through 4D imaging radar technology. Mo brings 20 years of radar system design to Zadar Labs, and I have years of experience in different aspects of autonomous systems. Radar is a powerful sensor because it brings direct velocity measurement and accurate detection at long range without any performance degradation in poor weather and lighting conditions. The new generation of 4D imaging radar technology brings much higher resolution radar images to perception system and enables advanced perception algorithms and AI techniques for radar-based classification and localization mapping. So we see the next generation of autonomous systems evolving from a hierarchical architecture to a collaborative and closed-loop architecture, where perception and planning systems demand different configurations of the sensors, including 4D imaging radar, depending on the operating and environmental conditions and scenarios. To meet the demand of these next generation autonomous systems, we take a software-defined approach to imaging radar. So all of the physical layer parameters of radar is available in the software layer. To build that, we start with latest silicon technology from our silicon partners, and we built our own Zadar signal processing as the embedded software running on this platform. And on top of that, we have our radar data processing layer. With this approach, we can achieve very high radar detection performance, up to 800 meters of range and 0.4-degree resolution in azimuth and elevation. This unlocks AI and deep learning for radar. We can address new applications, new markets, and have a very quick time to markets with an only software update, and we can future-proof for new use cases in the field. We have 3 platforms with different form factor, power consumption, and range performance. They're all software-defined imaging radars. Here we can see one of these platforms in 2 completely different scenarios performs completely differently. So here in highway driving, we have range of 250 meters, and then in parking lot driving, much shorter range, but much higher resolution. All this was possible with the support of our investors, advisors, and partners. We started the company 2 years ago. Last year, we raised a seed round of $5.6 million. And with that, we could release all 3 products and our software suite and have a partnership with a global OEM, Volvo, and a partnership with a tier 2 supplier, Xilinx. And soon we're going to open a Series A round to raise funding for the next stage of the company. Please get in touch if you have any questions. Thank you.
All right, so our next startup is Aura Intelligent Systems. Aura Intelligent Systems is working on high-res perception technology for applications like drones and autonomous vehicles. Their high-performance solutions aim to accelerate the management and security of future mobility. Presenting now is Aura Intelligent. Welcome them to the stage.
Hello, everyone. This is Jung-Ah Lee, founder and CEO of Aura Intelligent Systems. We are reimagining radar, a 100-year-old technology in the age of autonomous mobility. Trucking is a $790 billion industry, holding more than 70% of freight in the United States. Driver shortage is challenging the supply chain and is threatening economic recovery from the pandemic. Autonomous driving will address this critical problem in the trucking industry. Driver wages and fuel costs account for 57% of the trucking cost. Autonomous driving will bring 80% saving in driver wages and additional 10% saving in fuel cost. It will create safer and less congested road. The challenge in autonomous vehicles is that it needs sensors that work in all weather environments. Imaging radars are emerging as a solution, replacing LiDAR. Today's radars rely on analog technologies from the 60s, resulting in poor resolution and false alarms. The performance is impacted by interference, jamming, and urban clutter, limiting large-scale deployment. Aura's solution is a high-resolution digital imaging radar for this mission-critical sensing problem. Aura has developed a software-defined radar technology, leveraging best-in-class 5G hardware architecture. Our patented technology provides a factor of 1,000 times reduction in interference and 100 times less complex than the competition. Think of what digital technology did to the mobile phones. Aura's founding team comes from industry veterans who led 4G and 5G technology, and we have deep roots on foundational research led by David Munson on tomographic radar imaging technology. We are currently focusing on commercialization of the technology. We are seeking customers and partners as we take disruptive technology to market. Imagine what we can bring together in transportation, drones and urban air mobility, industrial automation, and defense industries. Please join us to own the future. If you are interested, please contact me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Aura Intelligent. So next in line is General Radar, whose signal processing solutions enhance the range and resolution of existing radar systems so that they can be used in foggy and raining conditions. Their team has already partnered with the US Air Force, Navy, Ford, and GM. Please welcome General Radar.
Hi, My name is Dimitri Turbiner, and I'm the founder of General Radar. We are an 8-year-old startup. We're VC backed by Kleiner Perkins. And I wanted to present our applications of our radars for mobility. A little bit about myself. I did my undergrad in electrical engineering and my master's degree at MIT and Stanford. I started my career at NASA JPL doing antenna design. I designed this phased array, and then I built it, and then I was the manager of a team that delivered 12 of these phased array antennas for the Cosmic 2 mission, which launched in 2019 on a SpaceX Falcon Heavy. After JPL, I moved to Silicon Valley to start General Radar around 2013. In 2015, we got a seed round from Kleiner Perkins. So the mission statement of the company is to disrupt the sensor landscape with the world's highest performance digital pulse compression radars. What we've done is the following. We've developed 3 innovations, these 3, which have allowed us to aggressively cost reduce a $1 million aerospace radar into a $50K envelope today, and a ultimately achievable COGS of $200, making it compatible with mobility applications. We call these General Radars, thus the name of the company. The 3 innovations are SerDes sampling, which gets rid of expensive multi-bit gigasample A to D and D to A converters; digital pulse compression, which is a superior architecture to FMCW, which is the primary architecture for low-cost radars. And finally, we've developed a set of very high-performance analog 1-degree beams, millimeter wave beamformers. Our competitive advantages are 10 to 20x lower cost than large defense radars from Raytheon and Lockheed and so on. And then on the small radar size, such as mobility, we have about 100x more performance than the radars from RB, Bosch, Continental, and other FMCW style radars. Finally, we are general because we are a platform technology. Our software is specific to each segment, but our hardware is the same. To date, we have 3 products. We have the Mark IV millimeter wave imaging radar, and that is what this talk will focus on. And its applications is to mobility, wind profiling for wind turbines, airfield foreign object debris detection, and counter drones. We have developed a long range, a 20-kilometer range X-band radar, and its applications are radar upgrades of legacy defense systems, missile defense, and counter drone. And finally, we are in development with our customers of a long range AESA radar for missile defense, as well as solid state weather radars. Today, I want to focus on the Mark IV, for it was developed for the mobility use case. So the Mark IV is a very advanced state-of-art millimeter phased array radar. It contains 2 88 elements phased arrays followed by analog beamformers, and it produces 1 by 1 degree beams. It contains our 3 innovations: SerDes sampling, digital pulse compression, and analog millimeter beamformers. We originally developed it in collaboration with General Motors as a dream self-driving car, level 4 or 5 radar. And more recently, we have been working with the Air Force and Navy to use it for other things such as counter drones and airfield foreign object debris. This is a picture of my colleague trying out the Mark IV when it was imaging drone targets. I wanted to emphasize the quality of the data that we get out of our Mark IV. No one else has this. This is a real-time, high-resolution point cloud that looks like a LiDAR point cloud, except it's a radar. meaning it works in all weathers. Let me show you a video. You will see this truck backing out and it will appear in the data here. So this is how 1 by 1 degree radar point cloud data looks like. You'll see the truck backing out, and here it is in the group of points. Again, this is a LiDAR-like point cloud, except it's coming from a radar. I believe there is many applications to this, to mobility, things like gap filler needs that LiDARs cannot meet, as well as all-weather operation. Also range. It is very easy to make a multi-kilometer range radar because it's a radar. It's very hard to do the same with LiDARs. So do not hesitate to reach out to me if you want to know further. My email is turbiner@genrad.io, and here's my cell phone number. Thank you very much. I look forward to connecting.
All right, thank you, General Radar. So at this point, we'll be launching a poll that you can see on the screen. We'll be doing this every 4 to 5 startups. And you can fill out the poll, and our team will help make some intros happen. So if you're interested in one of these startups, go ahead and select them in the poll. And then if you have any questions or issues, please feel free to use the chat. We'll be happy to help you out. So the startups that you guys have the chance to connect with are Annotell, Zadar Labs, or Intelligent and General Radar. All right. So hopefully you've had a chance to fill out the poll. And next, we're going to be moving on to Nodar. And Nodar is working on AV solutions that require real-time, accurate, and reliable 3D sensing to navigate their environment safely. Nodar's 3D vision systems improve the ability for those systems to perceive and detect even small unknown objects with limited resources. Please welcome Nodar.
Hi, my name is Brad Rosen. I'm the COO and co-founder at Nodar. At Nodar, we're building long-range 3D vision systems for all self-driving cars and trucks based on camera arrays. Our vision is to become an enabling component on all mainstream L3 and above cars and trucks, and ultimately to be universally adopted software for camera systems on all vehicles. How are we going to do that? Well, let's take a step back and look at the market. The autonomous vehicle market promises to be absolutely enormous, as we all know, with over 250 million L2 plus and above vehicles getting produced over the next 5 to 8 years. But the bottom line is that driving is complex, and there are many problems that are unsolved, one of which we focus on, which is the long-range small object detection problem. Basically, the idea is that, say, a 18-wheeler is driving down the highway, it needs enough time to avoid or stop when confronted with a lethal object, such as an overturned vehicle or an unsecured load that's fallen on the highway. And you see a quote here from the former CEO of Daimler Trucks, who basically says, if we can't detect objects at long range, then we can't deploy these autonomous vehicles. So how are we going to solve this? Nodar uses an age-old technique with a new twist, basically comparing the images from 2 cameras that are pointed at the same scene and measuring the disparity or shift of the same object between images. It's a physical measurement. It's highly reliable. Millions of these systems have shipped. So why hasn't what we're doing been done before? And the reason is because the relative alignment between the cameras is super critical and very sensitive. And so legacy systems had the cameras on beams positioned very, very close to one another, which limited their range to about 50 meters. Nodar software removes this constraint using complex algorithms, and that enables us to correct for alignment in real time in software and position the cameras independently from one another. And that, in turn, allows us to extend the range of the system by 10 to 20x. So again, we're using off-the-shelf cameras. Super wide baselines allow us to sense depth up to 1,000 meters. But it also allows us exquisite accuracy closer in. For instance, a 10-centimeter object can be detected at 150 meters. And because we're based on cameras, the pricing will be compatible with the automotive market. We currently are involved in POCs with 8 top tier 1s and OEMs. And here's some feedback from some of the folks we've been showing our real-time demo to. And if I were to sum it up, I would say that everyone seems to be seeking alternatives to LiDAR because the promise of LiDAR has not yet been realized and won't for some time. Here's an example of one of our partners who's integrated Nodar into an actual roof and showed it in September at the IAA show. And on the team slide, what I would call out is Leif, my co-founder, who spent 12 years building LiDARs at MIT Lincoln Labs and prior got 3 degrees at MIT in optoelectronics. And Leif's big aha coming out of Lincoln Labs was that LiDAR, while it's a great tool and very accurate, is not necessarily the right tool for all situations. And he set out to build something more compatible with the automotive markets. You see our advisory board and board of directors below, populated by former CEO of Daimler Trucks, folks from Ford, Continental, and BMW, who help guide our direction. So Nodar, we're a seed-funded, venture-backed firm in the Boston area. We are currently gearing up to do a Series A. You can see Leif's email below, and mine is similarly brad@nodarsensor.com. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nodar. So next up is Bareways. Bareways is working on software solutions to enable safe driving in non-urban environments. So in challenging conditions like unpaved roads and hazardous weather, drivers and fleet managers alike can use Bareways to navigate with more insight and fewer issues. Please welcome our next startup, Bareways.
Hi, my name is Moritz von Grottus. I'm the CEO and founder of Bareways. Bareways is a data company from Germany. We focus on data models and data services for rural mobility. What is it all about? Well, if you look at rural mobility, if you drive from San Francisco to Half Moon Bay and you don't take the highway, you suddenly go on roads which are somehow different from what you expect and what you see in urban environments. You have different vegetation, you have elevation that matters, and the frequency of usage changes, and all these factors that create mobility experiences are also correlated to risks. You have more accidents simply because you know less. And what we do is we provide data on these roads. And why does it matter? Well, it matters for your mobility experiences. How do you enjoy driving? It matters for autonomous and assisted vehicles, and so on. Our value proposition is we provide as much data as possible and as available on any road on a global scale in real time. We can tell you the road surface, we can tell you the curvature, we can tell you where's nice photos for with your Instagram account, and that entirely very much focusing on your vehicle, what is it capable of you as a person, what are you interested in, as well as the surrounding where you're moving. The technology is based on AI. We aggregate as much data as possible in areas where we get this. We then use satellite data for the global coverage and real time, and then create the Bareways data engine, combining all the data models and the services. One of the use cases, for example, is e-vehicle navigation. We can tell you where are roads that you truly can enjoy with your e-vehicle when it's not just getting the fastest way from one place to another. We can optimize the consumption on that and really bring you into areas on a global scale that are fun to drive for you and your vehicle. Bareways was founded in 2019 by Sascha Clement and myself. We are serial entrepreneurs and already with our former startup Gestigon, alumni of Plug and Play. During the last 3 years, we raised roughly 3 million euro from a number of automotive investors, among them one of the big automotive families from Germany. We already today have 2 serial production or serial development contracts with German OEMs and a number of POCs with automotive tier 1s. We have a strong patent portfolio, and we're always interested in new investors, but just as well, new customers for our data services. Thank you very much. My name is Moritz von Grottus. I'm the CEO of Bareways.
Thank you, Bareways. So moving on from computer vision in autonomous vehicles, we're going to talk about Infinite Mobility, whose team is tackling urban and last mile delivery challenges which include traffic congestion, air quality, and noise pollution. Their product is a lightweight, solar-powered tricycle that sustainably addresses those mobility challenges. Please welcome Infinite Mobility.
Hi, my name is Moaz. Infinite Mobility is a Norwegian startup developing lightweight solar electric vehicles for the urban mobility. In fact, three-wheelers are one of the most popular micromobility means worldwide, but most of the existing solutions are outdated and safe, and they don't match today's needs. We developed a new generation of three-wheelers. Oslo is an ultra-modern solar electric three-wheeler that integrates solar cells both on the roof, on the back, and on the side of the vehicle. Collectively, these solar cells can provide an extra range of 40 to 50 kilometers by day, or up to 10,000 kilometers of extra range over 1 year. The design is futuristic, elegant, and it can carry 3 passengers, a driver, plus 2 additional adults on the back. Behind this exciting project for friends and colleagues, they have complementary expertises, both in technology, supply chain, in finance, and in business development. Big organization, they trusted our project and they giving us a lot of support. One of them is Fontana Group, which is an automotive company from Italy, that they signed a strategic partnership together with us, and they will support us on engineering and in manufacturing. We obtained the 2021 Future Hamburg Award. We are part of 2 programs by Plug and Play, and we are considered as or featured as an impact startup by the Web Summit, and we are one of the founding members of the Alliance for Solar Mobility. Using our own resources plus grants from Innovation Norway, we were able to build a first prototype that you can see on the right side of this slide, and we were able to validate the hypothesis of our calculations. For now, we are fundraising 1.5 million euros. We are already almost or over subscribed on this round, but we still open for negotiation with the strategic partners that they can bring added value more than the capital on the table. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Infinite Mobility. Next up is Synop, which is building an operating system for commercial electric vehicles. Their tools help fleet managers automate charging, improve uptime, and optimize costs to generate more efficient fleet operations. Please welcome our next startup, Synop.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gagan Dillon. I am the founder and CEO of Synop, the commercial EV operating system. Our mission at Synop is to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions caused by the transportation sector, and the tools that we've built rapidly accelerate the electrification process across this industry worldwide. The one thing we recognize here is that electrification is the greatest shift to occur in the auto industry since its invention. The tool sets that we build help with the scale of electrification much faster than ever before. When you think of Synop and the challenges that come to commercializing electric vehicles, the things we always run into from an operator perspective are understanding how to manage charging, understanding how to manage EV vehicle operations, and then understanding how to manage the energy output across a fleet and a depot. When talking to operators in this space, we continue to find that there aren't charge and fleet operation tools that are connected to one another. The current solutions that are in this space are very rigid and don't offer a lot of interoperability. And the charge and route planning process is extremely rudimentary, often using spreadsheets and paper to plan the routes and charging for electric vehicles. Our solution to this problem is building the operating system for commercial electromobility. What that means is we built an end-to-end solution that combines charge management with fleet operations and has an overview in one single place for an operator to manage their entire fleet. The way this works from a charging standpoint is we are the OCPP-based charger control. We have easy depot management solutions for customers to use. We are charging infrastructure agnostic and make it super easy and intuitive for a fleet operator to understand and manage their charging needs. From a fleet perspective, we make it really easy for you to understand the output of energy from an asset, understanding fleet-wide charging schedules, using telemetry data to understand routing and planning for charging the next day. Our customer segments include electric busing, electric delivery van, trucks, and utility partners today. And we've started to see a ton of customer growth over the past few months. We've got 5 enterprise customers today. We operate about 100 EVs on the platform, and we're expecting to reach 500 EVs by the end of Q1, early Q2. Our largest customer commitment to date is 250 electric vehicles. Our business model is a software as a subscription based on the number of assets on the platform, and it's set up in a tier structure for our partners. To give you a bit of the company overview, it's myself, my partner, Andrew Bledge, who's our CTO. We've got a small team of engineers that we've started to build out in the New York City area. And we raised a pre-seed round of $1.5 million backed by Better Ventures, Wireframe, and Plug and Play over the summer of 2021. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you, Synop. So next up, we should see a poll. And if you want to if you're interested in connecting with any of these startups, feel free to select them and then submit them through the poll. Again, our startups are Nodar, Bareways, Infinite Mobility, and Synop. So go ahead, take some time, and if there are any issues, feel free to mention them in the chat. All right, so moving on from Synop, we're going to start looking into connected vehicle startups. And our first up is Aiden. Aiden provides a software solution for that facilitates rich, reliable, and real-time communication across vehicle brands. Their software empowers car owners, OEMs, and a range of vehicle partners through connectivity, freedom, and control over their data. Here to present is Aiden.
Hello, we are Aiden, and we believe cars have stories to tell, and we give them a voice. So it isn't a surprise that more and more devices in our lives are connected. It shouldn't be a surprise to you, at least. Think about what happened to the cell phone industry, smartphones, smart watches, and now we're talking about smart homes. And meanwhile, we've been talking about connected cars for multiple years, but cars are in fact not really connected to anything. Sure, they have a data plan, but they're not connected to your insurance company. They're not connected to your garage opener. And frankly, there's a great societal need for using cars as sensors for infrastructure improvements or weather predictions, you name it. And so as we move into this the modern mobility landscape where new business models are introduced, we truly believe cars have to be connected to anything, and it has to happen with ease. And so the problem up until now is that if you want to connect cars, you only have 2 options pretty much. One is involving external hardware, and it's which is costly, but it is standardized through the OBD port. The other solution, or the other way of connecting cars, is through pure software. However, that relies on proprietary OEM cloud infrastructure, so it doesn't necessarily scale. What we're offering is both one standard way to integrate, and it's a pure software solution. And so I'll show you briefly how that works. Basically, we build on what's for the first time ever happening in the auto industry, which is multiple car brands are actually adopting one similar operating system for their infotainment. And that is Android Automotive OS. Well above 50% of all vehicles produced per year globally have officially committed to this operating system. And so real quick, what we do is we've built software that runs on that OS and makes it possible to scale across OEMs while presenting one standard interface to whatever service that wants to communicate with specific cars. Okay, so if it's your insurance company, it's very easy to connect and perhaps give you a lower premium. So yeah, so what we're looking for as we build this network is more car OEMs to work with. We have a working MVP that's ready to be installed, and we can easily pilot with either a preferred insurance company or fleet management provider, or pick from the list of our existing partners. We're also always open to new partners on the data side. Anyone who wants to communicate with cars, please give us a shout out. And of course, you know, investments are welcome. We do need more funds to accelerate this growth and building our network. So thank you very much. And if you have questions or you want a demo, reach out to me. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Aiden. Our 10th startup now is Livil, which offers a comprehensive toolkit for productivity solutions that can be used by drivers, enterprises, and developers operating in the mobility space. Please welcome Livil.
Hi, my name is Niels Freers, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Livil. If, like me, you work using lots of tools like email, file sharing, calendar, instant messaging, web conferencing, CRM, and so on, and if you regularly drive, then this product is directly relevant to you personally. On top of that, if you represent a company whose staff drive for work purposes, or if you represent a mobility company or investor, then our company may hopefully also be directly relevant to you commercially. Livil makes it possible to work while driving, safely and productively. Our software provides drivers with access to all relevant tools used in the offices from all different providers, such as Google, Microsoft 365, Zoom, Slack, or Salesforce, in one centralized and unified solution. All tools are brought to the same level and made to work as one big interconnected productivity offering. Via voice, the driver can perform complete work processes such as writing or responding to emails or instant messages, scheduling, finding open slots, joining web conferences, or hearing synopses or full text readouts of messages, tasks, or CRM information. While stationary, for example, during recharging, further features become available using both the in-vehicle infotainment and smartphone screens. Solution comes either into the vehicle through pre-installed by the manufacturers or projected through the driver's smartphones and digital assistants. We encourage any individual and enterprise client to test out our product. If you product for yourself, as a driver, you will see how we increase driving safety through features that enable complete hands-free voice operation using only low-effort inputs. You will see how we provide full connectivity, and you can connect whatever you like and work to your heart's content. You'll also see how we boost productivity by freeing up 30 minutes of your day. If you use a product for your company, you will see the wonders it can do for staff satisfaction and productivity, and how our data security is second to none. We partner with mobility companies to meet their customers' explicit demand for in-vehicle productivity. We connect you with your customers' businesses, and work has the beautiful effect of never really going away. So that work is not only a lasting, but also a frequent touch point and has a huge value to your customers. We understand that you want to provide unique experiences, differentiate your brand from others, and therefore provide a complete toolkit for productivity. Our company is based in Düsseldorf, Germany, and we work with a number of vehicle manufacturers and suppliers to provide smart enterprise connectivity for the road. We are proud to say that from 2022, our software will be available pre-installed by manufacturers. We are raising investment and will close the funding round this year, and we would be delighted to talk to you about it. So, as a potential client, mobility partner, or investor, we look forward to meeting you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Livil. Moving forward, we have Radchat, which offers a new approach to vehicle communication, where reliable sensors and secure data transmission is a necessity. Radchat's technology helps vehicles helps vehicles cut the signal from noisy radar interference in situations where low latency, detected links, and safety are of utmost importance. Please welcome our next startup, Radchat.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lucas, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Radchat.
What we're doing is developing multifunctional radar sensors that allow for safe situational awareness and new functionalities. I don't know if you all have heard of the issue of radar interference, but what it means is that as we add more and more radar sensors to our cars, the sensors in the car might interfere with the sensor of other cars, causing it to either brake for no reason at all or missing an object like a pedestrian completely. So by adding communication capabilities to radar sensors, we can proactively delete radar interference, enhance certain radar functionalities, and open up for new possibilities within data sharing. This leads to new services such as collaborative driving, as you can see in the picture here. Ultimately, what we're doing is improving the properties and relevance of both radars and communication. On the communication side, we're reusing a hardware in the sensor that's always going to be there. We're doing it wirelessly, and we're doing it cost and energy efficiently. And on the radar side, we're increasing interference robustness, the resolution, and the range of the radar. Our main selling point has been the proactive elimination of radar interference. But through interactions with industry, we're also realizing that this new technology might bring value to many other areas. For example, we can map the environment in mines through localization and positioning. We can do valet parking, collaborative driving, or wireless communication between truck and trailer, to mention a few. And finally, the most important part of our company is our core team. From left to right, you can see Hank, me, Shannon, and Simon. Where Hank is world leading in wireless communication and localization, Shannon does wireless ad hoc protocols, and Simon has the unique competence of integrating our software solutions with our hardware solutions. And I focus more on the business development of things. So now that we're on your radar, please reach out to us if you're interested in joining us on our journey. We'd be happy to discuss possible proof of concept or investment opportunities. Thank you all for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you, Radchat. Our next startup is DriveU. DriveU provides a platform for autonomous vehicles to be remotely operated on low latency 4K video and sensor data. Their software integrates not just with road vehicles, but also helps with off-road, warehouse, and sidewalk machinery overcome network obstacles. Please welcome DriveU.
Hello, my name is Alon Potters and I'm CEO of DriveU. DriveU enables the deployment of autonomous vehicles through teleoperations. We support all autonomous vehicle use cases, robotaxis, shuttles and buses, autonomous trucks, heavy machinery, logistics, and agriculture. The autonomous vehicle space is an $800 billion market. Since early 2020, more than $13 billion have been invested into the ecosystem. And we're also seeing an acceleration of M&A and joint venture activities totaling over $10 billion already. Most importantly, autonomous vehicles use cases are now being commercially deployed. Now, autonomous vehicles are always going to face situations that are outside of their training or situations in which edge cases that are beyond their ability to handle. And so it's pretty widely accepted in the industry that a human in the loop will always be needed in order to help autonomous vehicles achieve their objectives. And this has also been captured in regulation. This is known as teleoperations, a remote operator assisting the vehicle to reach its destination. In order for a remote human operator to conduct teleoperations, she must see the world through the eyes or the cameras of the vehicles. And basically, this requires low latency transmission of video from the vehicle to the remote location over a cellular network, so that the remote operator can then give guidance and instruction to the autonomous vehicle. The challenge is transmitting multiple streams of HD video over an inconsistent and unreliable cellular network. Performance of networks varies greatly because of coverage, available bandwidth, weather, and capacity. And this is becoming even further complicated because we're talking about a moving vehicle. And so the performance of the cellular connection is affected by the fact that the vehicle is moving between coverage areas of antennas. In short, a single cellular network is not enough. DriveU solves for this. Basically, a software-based platform that enables dynamic video encoding, low latency algorithms and cellular bonding, transmitting seamlessly video from the vehicle to the remote operator. Our target markets are companies that are building autonomous vehicles. Our business model is based on a recurring fee for the software installed on the vehicles. We've announced long-term partnerships with Denso and additional announcements coming soon. We are a spin-out from LiveU, and we benefit from their 15 years of experience deploying transmission of video over cellular networks. In closing, we operate in a huge market. Autonomous vehicles cannot be deployed without teleoperations, and teleoperations must have high quality, low latency connectivity. We have the team and the technology to take a leading position in this market. I want to thank Plug and Play for having me, and I'm looking forward to partnership opportunities with you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, DriveU. Our final connected vehicle startup is Axitech, which delivers collision management solutions for connected vehicle organizations, allowing them to act on collision data insights, streamline insurance handling, and improve customer engagement. Let's go ahead and welcome Axitech.
Hi, my name is Matt Hodges and I'm the founder and CEO of Axitech. At Axitech, our objective is to bring together OEMs and insurers to co-serve connected customers and deliver a revolutionary experience following the automatic detection of a collision. Axitech's an auto tech company that specifically was built to re-engineer the claims process through the lens of the OEM and deliver an end-to-end experience branded as the OEM following the automatic detection of a crash. We built a platform called AxiCloud. This platform is a toolkit to allow automakers to stand up and quickly integrate the ecosystem of collision services, ranging from mobility service providers and rental vehicles, certified repairers, roadside assistants, all the way through to ultimately ingesting the potential insurance claim into the insurance carrier. We are pioneering ways for automakers and insurers to work together to essentially serve in partnership at a very difficult time following a collision. And the way we do that is through claims protocols and bilateral agreements to essentially ensure that everything is pre-agreed from the detection of the crash through to the supply chain and the pricing within that supply chain, all the way to the settlement. So what problem are we trying to solve? When a customer is involved in a collision, it's separated into two areas. One, focusing on the medical emergency and the health of the occupants, and the other is the administrative task of filing an insurance claim or repairing your vehicle. Oftentimes, the consumer doesn't really know where to turn immediately after a collision because it's not something that happens every day in their lives. And ultimately, the process itself is expensive, very fragmented. The cost of claims is a very important metric that we're trying to reduce. And today it's owned by the insurance industry. So consumers report relatively manually. There isn't a link between the connected vehicle and the insurance company. There is a significant cost and friction in that process. How we envision the future looking is we would detect a crash and extract the data from the connected vehicle. We will have a centralized processing of that collision. So we're able to immediately dispatch an ambulance and save lives using the data, and give the customer a joined up experience with the insurance process, allow them to repair their vehicle through self-pay or make an insurance claim with their insurance carrier. The goal is to make the process more streamlined, make it more valuable, and create a served in partnership model. The two important brands, the customer's insurer and the OEM, to come together at the time of the collision and solve the problem for the consumer. There is a newly addressable and underserved market, and there is a huge hole for an aggregator to come in to take all of the collision data from the OEM side and make that available to the consumer to be able to process their claim more efficiently. Centralizing all of that volume is a huge opportunity to redefine what the user experience looks like with a software-led product and with near zero marginal distribution costs. We have three core components of the system that make it easy and consistent for collision management user experiences to be delivered quickly and globally for auto OEMs. We manage the pre-claim services, including emergency services dispatch, case triage and qualification, enabling both self-service but also an agent-led approach to capture and conversion of the customer. But where we stand out is that these systems can drive compatibility with claim processes downstream to unlock end-to-end claim processing inside the captive branded experience. We spoke about being insurance compliant, and one of the key things here is that insurers and OEMs work together. And so the way we do that is through protocol agreements, and ours in North America is called the General Terms Protocol Agreement. How does this all fit together? The General Terms Protocol Agreement is an agreement between OEM and insurers that sets out pre-agreed rates and process that ultimately delivers what the customer really wants when they're involved in the collision. Axitech is aggregating data from automakers across the market. That data is centrally processed through the ActiCloud platform and then delivered in a pre-agreed protocol, which is the GTPA, to the paying insurance carrier. This enables a seamless end-to-end journey for the customer, but essentially the benefits for insurers to participate in this is that ultimately OEMs are investing in owning this solution in terms of the upfront pre-claim FNOL piece. And we want insurers to be part of that, as we've mentioned, in a served in partnership model. There's significant opportunity to reduce the cost of claims here. There's huge transactional cost savings by centralizing the process. So we're able to work to look at things like removing double tow, removing impound fees, using the data to dispatch towing and tow it once and tow it right to the right location, allowing self-serve across the data collection and claims tracking element, which should reduce claims costs significantly. And we think we can save around $600 to $700 per claim through this route. There's also a brand management element here. Ultimately, there is friction between OEMs' desires and insurers' desires of how claims should be run. We want to unify those. The insurers don't want to be the brand saying no, and they want to be represented in a positive light and seen to be collaborating at the point of a claim. We want to give transparency and rich data sets to insurers to allow reserving and cost predictability to become more accurate. In terms of traction to date, we've used seed capital to validate the OEM demand for this solution, and we're in contract negotiations with multiple OEMs across multiple regions. That includes OEMs directly and tier ones. We're looking to raise a Series A this year, and we're planning to grow insurer participation in multiple regions and build a world-class engineering team that grows our distribution opportunities to parallel process OEM onboardings. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to meeting hopefully in the future.
All right, thank you. So at this point, you should see a poll get pulled up. Yep. And if you're interested in talking to one of these startups, again, feel free to select them and submit the poll. Our startups are Aiden, Livil, Radchat, DriveU, and Axitech. So give you a little moment to fill that out. And next up, we're going to talk about smart manufacturing and operations startups. So our final two startups are working on smart manufacturing and operations solutions. First up is Terra Autonomy, and they're tackling a challenge that autonomous robots and vehicles face because they rely on expensive onboard sensors and high demand processing. Terra's mobility software instead leverages a shared sensor network and centralized computing to enable superior performance at a lower cost. Please welcome Terra Autonomy.
Hi, I'm Rob Ogden, co-founder and CEO at Terra Autonomy, an early stage startup based in Los Angeles. We're building the next evolution of autonomous mobility. The rapid rise of e-commerce is driving widespread adoption of autonomous mobile robots in supply chain and manufacturing facilities, with the market projected to grow 73% annually over the next 3 years. The autonomous mobile robot, or AMR, is like an autonomous vehicle, but instead of moving people, it moves things like pallets, boxes, and other materials. Today, AMRs function like an autonomous vehicle, using an expensive onboard system. This system includes sensors like LiDAR, cameras, and others, and that data is fused together by powerful onboard processors. Despite this, the perception capabilities of AMRs is quite limited, as you can see in this visualization. With poor perception, it is difficult to make AMRs perform reliably at a high level. We are taking a different approach to solving autonomy and have defined a new class of mobile robot we call the connected mobile robot. A CMR has only very basic sensors and minimal onboard computing power, and instead relies on a shared sensor network and centralized compute for perception and navigation. This allows the robot to have superior performance while costing significantly less than an AMR. In a Terra system, sensors are strategically placed throughout a facility and create a real-time digital twin of the environment, which our system uses to route and control the robots. Comparing AMRs to CMRs, CMRs have a full understanding of their environment, use less energy, and are less likely to require maintenance. And because our system generates a detailed digital twin, we can also provide valuable analytics like personnel and asset tracking. CMRs have all these benefits with a unit cost that is 50% less than an AMR. yielding net savings of over 30% on new robot fleets and over 70% if retrofitting existing non-autonomous robots. We do not plan to build robots or sensor hardware, and instead are providing software that enables autonomous mobility and integrates with third-party robots and existing facility management software. Our business model is SaaS with pricing based on the size of the facility. And our addressable market is very large, with over 13 billion square feet of manufacturing and logistics space in the US alone. Our competitive advantages are numerous, but I'll touch on just a few. We are a first mover, and there's a significant technical moat to what we're building. We're also creating an interoperable platform, which, like operating systems, has a winner takes most dynamic. We are a team of 3 with over 35 years of combined experience, startup founders and at large companies like Microsoft, Coupang, and others. We are currently raising a $600,000 pre-seed safe round to complete the development of our fully functional prototype in 6 months. Please reach out if you're interested in investing or implementing our technology in your facilities. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you, Terra Autonomy. So we have one final startup, which is UNL, and they are a smart location platform that provides businesses with the tools, including maps as a service, adapted routing, data enrichment, and location-based transactions. Their vision is to build an internet of places where geodata empowers delivery of scalable, hyperlocal digital services. Please welcome our final startup, UNL.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pascal Verloop, leading the product team and one of the founders of UNL. Thank you for letting us participate and listening to our story today. Some background information. UNL is a company founded in 2018 in Amsterdam. Last year, we moved our headquarters to Singapore because of the strong market solution fit, and also because of the investors we onboarded, being the Singapore government and Here Technologies, one of the biggest B2B mapping companies in the world. We're about 12 people size big and have several patents active, filed, and some are still pending. But more importantly, what are we doing with UNL and building the Internet of Places? UNL in its core is a smart location platform that provides businesses with the mapping and data tools to create their own location-based services. What's unique is that we put a 3D grid of microcells on top of the Earth's surface and given every location a unique GeoID and identifier to add data to a location, to update it, and to program them based on your business and events. Looking at the key mobility challenge, we're looking at solving the dependency on street names, which are still inaccurate and widely unavailable for a lot of people. There's still a big inefficiency in last mile, last meter routing, specifically indoor, but also outdoor. There's a lack of real-time updates through both user input or sensor input, and there's a strong need for a unified infrastructure that can be used by both manned and unmanned deliveries. What do we provide? We provide a virtual private map infrastructure with a search engine, our unique routing algorithm that also provides drone highways for robots and other devices. Creating our virtual private maps means that for every business, every project, we create a unique map where everything that's done on that map is owned and managed by the business. That means that adding your own POIs for the pickup points, delivery parts, rest areas, toilets, everything that's needed to make your deliveries more efficient can be added to the map and used by your consumers and workforce. This also means that it's super important to have a search engine that can't only search for addresses, but also for the specifics that you need. Do you need specific drop-off points for medical supplies? Do you need specific exits at night? All these things you want to have searchable and are continuously available. Also, if there are moving objects regarding food trucks, markets, events and spaces, they're all updated real time and still searchable wherever you are. With UNL, we've created our own pixel routing, completely based on cells. This means we're able to create routing in difficult areas like buildings, airports, industrial areas, ports, all these areas where you can't depend on the traditional road network. We're able to instantly create routing and update it on the fly. With UNL, we're also using this grid to create virtual highways for both drones and robots. As our grid is 3D and up to 1 square centimeter precise, we're able to create exact routing for drones, robots, forklifts, wherever you are. If it's in a warehouse or outside in an industrial area, there's routing available everywhere and updated on demand. Why UNL? We're unique because we provide you a personal mapping solution where you can add your own data, where you own that data, and you can update it anytime, anywhere. What are we searching for? We're searching for corporate partners, local governments to do projects and pilot with. And also, of course, we're looking for investors to discuss our Series A round. Thank you everyone for listening and hope again to talk soon.
Thank you, UNL. So at this point, we have one final poll, just two startups. Our startups are Terra Autonomy and UNL. So if you're interested in chatting, submit them and we'll be happy to connect you guys. And that was all 16 startups for this mobility portion of our Winter Summit. Our team at Plug and Play is really excited for these startups and these founders, and we hope that you were able to learn from these pitches, get an idea of where the mobility tech is headed. I would like to thank all the startups that participated today and all the partners that participated in the program. This summit wouldn't be possible without you. And then finally, I would like to thank everyone who attended this event today. We invite you to join us for our final Winter Summit event of the week. It should be the travel vertical on Thursday, so that's tomorrow. All right, and then as far as upcoming events go, one last thing is we are proud to host a startup pitch event partnering with Neto and Jetro. We're going to have 6 clean tech startups present on the 9th of December, so just around 3 weeks from today. Please feel free to register for the event using the link as well as the QR code that you see on your screen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Jonathan, for a great emceeing the session and for all the startups and the attendees. Also, as Jonathan mentioned, we have our summer summit coming up next year, June 12th to 18th. Hopefully next time we can host you in person at our headquarters in Sunnyvale and have some more networking and activities. But thank you so much for your time and looking forward to a better year in 2022. And thank you all the startups and corporate partners and everybody in the community. Thank you. Take care.